all that stuff are talking about Comcast cares. If Comcast cared about me, Comcast would have pulled me in the office and told me we need to talk about this. But don't set me up to get me fired.
What happened was the technician, Tech 356, called in. And what he was calling because he was saying that a customer had canceled a job. And it was an internet job. The customers apparently lost their power. And so he said, well, you know, the customer don't need me anymore. I need to cancel this job. And as a dispatcher, we just can't just cancel a job. We have to get verification from the customer. So I called the customer up. So the customer canceled the job. So now I typed in the notes, but I didn't completely type the complete notes. I put on there CM, means change mind, because there was so much going on that day, and I was being assigned to a different assignment. I had my phone log was just constantly running crazy. So after I did that, everything was fine. Well, a couple of minutes later after that, maybe 15, 20 minutes, my supervisor came over, and he said, Goodo, can you bring this job up, which was the job that we're talking about. And he said, well, why didn't you put any notes on here why it was canceled? Because I didn't put the notes in. It was canceled, changed mind over the phone by the customer. So, and I was like, okay, let me go back and change this. Well, and he said, well, because I got the customer on the line, and he's complaining, talking about he didn't cancel the job. So I'm like, wait a minute, you know, something wrong here, because I just got to talking to this customer. So I went back to my desk, and all of a sudden my phone rang again, because I logged back on. It was Tech 356. So I was like, yeah, he's back on the phone. So I mean, I can ask him about this, because I was a little confused whether or not the customer had canceled or not. And he said, yeah, he canceled it. And then it was later on that day, the supervisor came back and asked me again. Now he said, I'm going to ask you one more time. I done talked to the customer. You sure? I'm going to bat. I said, yes, I'm sure. So from that point on, nothing was said. Okay, now that was on January 17th this year. Now, no one ever called me in, talked to me, anything. On the 23rd, I worked around, like, I think 12 o'clock. I came back off my lunch break, and my supervisor told me to log out and follow him. And they followed me to the room. My supervisor was there, manager, and the HR director, and they told me as that day I was terminated. They said that I violated their code of ethics by lying, saying that the customer canceled the job. They only went by what the write-up was. The write-up said the customer never canceled. The customer never got their power back. It's like I took my own power and just canceled the job. Why would I cancel the job from the customer I don't even know? You know, that's how we make our money, through the customers. That's how we get our salary and raises. That's how we do it. Why would I do that to the customer? I don't have no hatred or animosity toward the customer. You understand? Before all this happened with the union and everything was really fine in there until they found out someone was trying to start a union. That's when everything went crazy. You know, they had the center on the person that was trying to start it. In December 6th, I had testified at the Oakland City Council meeting in Oakland. At that time, Comcast was up for getting their franchise agreement. And so they had several people that was testifying for Comcast, and I was the only non-representative that was testifying against Comcast that night.
My name is William Goodo. I am an Oakland resident and a 17-year-old veteran served in Vietnam. Since I left the Navy 9 years ago, I have worked for the cable company here in Oakland, now Comcast Cable.
Mr. Goodo testified before the Oakland City Council in favor of an ordinance that would allow Comcast workers to organize a union in a neutral environment. Comcast opposed the ordinance.
I'm not a troublemaker. I'm just an employee that cares. But when you work for this company, caring can get you into trouble.
I believe because that night I testified. And if I hadn't testified that night, and let's look at this. It wasn't only the fact because I testified that night, because they knew I was trying to start the union. the only reason why I could protect myself was I had to testify. I mean, I'm a man that I'm about respect and ethics. I just don't set myself up to get in trouble. But I truly believe I did the right thing that night and for trying to start the union, because the people need to be heard. People shouldn't be allowed to mistreat people in there. You know, when they working for a company that's making all this money, and then they go to these places and talk about they care. Because people told me that they couldn't talk to me or they were going to lose their job. The people that I was close with wouldn't even talk to me on the phone no more. And why would you not talk to me on the phone when I'm already terminated? I'm already fired, so why you can't call me and talk to me no more? You know, that sounds kind of suspicious, don't it? Brian Roberts is the CEO and chairman of Comcast Cable here in Philadelphia. What I want to say to you, Mr. Roberts, is this, is that I'm a dispatcher from Oakland, California, that been working for your company for many years. I never did anything wrong against your company, other than the fact that I tried to start a union. I believe I did it because I needed to do it to protect my job. So I came here to talk to the company, to tell them that you need to owe me an explanation, to explain to me why I really was fired. And if you can't give me an explanation, you need to just give me my job back and we just gonna go forward. Because I need to know something. We just can't keep going on like this, and I'm not going away, because I need to know why I was terminated. I'm hurting, you know, because I don't have no work. Anybody that's connected with Comcast in the Bay Area won't hire me, because when they look at my resume, the first thing they want to ask me, why was you terminated? So how do you tell somebody that you was wrongfully terminated against a company called Comcast and they say they care? You know, and they be saying like, well, you must have did something wrong. But what if you didn't do nothing wrong? Who gets blamed from that? And my question is to Mr. Roberts, if you got a code of ethics that your father and you or whoever made up in your company, and you violated your own code of ethics, who punishes you? You know, I've been punished for something I didn't do wrong, but who punishes you when you violate your own code of ethics?
All that stuff we're talking about, Comcast cares. If Comcast cared about me, Comcast would have pulled me in the office and told me we need to talk about this. But don't set me up to get me fired.